Without the proper diet, without the hormones being balanced, without the proper brain chemistry, doing all that mindset work is like trudging uphill with a big heavy backpack on. You can do it, but it takes a lot of effort. And what I find with Carnivore is that I've got this beautiful foundation that I'm building my mindset work on. Well, a warm welcome to you all. I'm JJ, I'm a life coach, and I have been eating mostly meat since October 2022. Now, when I tell people I eat a mostly meat diet, I usually get a few raised eyebrows. We've been told for so long that meat is not good for us for whatever reason. And I was shocked as anyone else to find out that it actually is the secret to my health and happiness. And I know this sounds completely upside down, and it is. The truth is that it is upside down. I've struggled with energy issues and mood issues since puberty, and I have done everything to try to combat those, including becoming a life coach and working on my mindset. And nothing has given me the results that eating mostly meat has. So I started on this journey because I was looking to lower my insulin. My doctor had recommended that I do intermittent fasting using an eating window because he was seeing signs of metabolic issues in me, including a 30-pound weight gain. So he got me along that path. But I found that my insulin wasn't going low enough. And that's not something you measure, but I wasn't losing any weight. And even though I was seeing some benefits, I wasn't getting the results I wanted. So I learned through Dr. Jason Fung and some others that lowering insulin can be done through eating more of a ketogenic diet, or even more so by eating a mostly meat carnivore type diet. Now, again, if you told me when I was in my teens, in my 20s, even in my 30s that I would eat mostly meat, I would have thought you were crazy because I lived on pasta and healthy whole grains and low fat, just like we were told. That's what I did. And I did not like the taste of meat at all back then. But then I sort of hit a health crisis in my 30s where I had absolutely no energy, and I was experiencing periods of depression. And when I'm saying no energy, I'm talking about taking 2 naps a day and passing out at night and sleeping all night for many, many hours. So there was brain fog, and this was when I started to have some skin issues, weight gain, etc. And I tried to exercise out of it. I tried to change my diet and eat more healthy. But again, nothing was working till I found out that I had gluten issues. So that was my first introduction into eating more of a proper human diet. I eliminated the gluten when I was 40, and my 40s were better. But I always felt like there was this I was having to prop myself up with a lot of supplements. I was having to be very careful about how I ate. And if I didn't eat right, if I didn't have the right supplements, I'd approach that cliff of low energy and depression again. So I was out of the woods, but the woods were right there. So I was making some progress. But again, my doctor was seeing signs of metabolic issues. So that's when I started the fasting, and that's when I got introduced to this carnivore diet. And how it happened is my husband came home and talked about how we should all have more protein. That's my husband voice. And I kind of discounted it at first. Now, I was eating meat at this point because once I took gluten out of my diet, I adopted more of a primal diet. So it was not a lot of grains. I tried to avoid those as much as possible, but lots of vegetables, meats, some healthy fats, mostly coconut oil, I think at that point, and avocado oil. But sugar was still a part of my diet. Definitely sugar was in there, and dairy. So that was how I mostly ate through my 40s, but I was eating meat. Now, my husband mentions this whole protein thing, And once you know, Dr. Barry starts coming up on my YouTube feed. Now, again, I'd already been studying insulin at this point, so I saw that moving to mostly meat would be advantageous for my metabolism, advantageous for me lowering my insulin. So I took the dive in and I started eating mostly meat. And most people do it to lose weight. And that was one of my things. Believe me, that was one of my things, because by this point I had not lost any of the 30 pounds that I had gained through my hormonal imbalances. And I still didn't lose weight after I started eating mostly meat. It took me a while before I started losing weight. But for me, the added weight was a symptom of dis-ease in my body. It was a symptom of not being healthy and hormonally balanced. So I didn't worry too much about the weight because I was seeing other benefits like body recomposition, and I was also seeing things like better skin, a reduction in my allergies. But here's the thing that hit me the most was I was seeing a better mood and more energy, like off the charts, like I hadn't seen since probably puberty. And I did not realize that that would be the biggest impact and that would have the hugest change in my life. For the first time in my adult life, to not be dragging myself through the days and not be just in a constant state of frustration, because that's what I was. Most of my 20s, I was probably in a constant state of frustration. And then as I moved into my 30s was when I was just completely drained and sleepwalking through life. And I think that a lot of people are drained and sleepwalking through life. Now, before I came to the diet, I became a life coach because I realized in my 30s that mindset was key, was part of this puzzle, and that all of the frustrations I'd experienced in my 20s were based on having these expectations of myself, really hard on myself expectations, but also all these expectations of the world. So I became a life coach certified in 2008. And it helped a bunch. It helped a lot. And yet, again, that sort of cliff was still there when it came to mood and energy. And now with Carnivore, the cliff is nowhere in sight. And it just makes me think that if I'd only known about this diet before, now I still think life coaching is incredible and the mindset work I've done is incredible and it's gotten to me to where I'm at. But without the proper diet, without the hormones being balanced, without the proper brain chemistry, doing all that mindset work is like trudging uphill with a big heavy backpack on. You can do it, but it takes a lot of effort. And what I find with Carnivore is that I've got this beautiful foundation that I'm building my mindset work on. And it's just been incredible. Like I said, I walk around most of the time with plenty of energy and happier and more content and experiencing more peace of mind than I have my entire adult life. So when people roll their eyes and say, oh, mostly meat, that seems awfully hard. How do you do that? I couldn't do that. I just wish they could experience a day in the after you move into mostly meat, a day in my life where I do have that energy, that mood, that happiness, that contentment, and a little extra weight or a little less weight as well. It's always nice, but just experiencing life in a whole different way. Eating meat is not a sacrifice. It's not hard. It's what I want to do so that I can maintain a vibrant and happy life here on out. So you might be in the space where I was, where you're feeling drained and adding something new, like a new diet, especially one that might feel absolutely crazy, absolutely risky based on everything we've been told all our lives. You might be like, well, I don't even have the energy to contemplate that right now. Or how do I get enough of a mindset boost to move into that diet? Because I don't have the energy yet. And so which comes first? Which comes first? As I said, I am a life coach, and I have a little bit of an exercise that might help you move into your life as a mostly meat-eating carnivore. And it's called the RISK exercise, and RISK is an acronym. And it stands for R, release attachment to the outcome. I, invest in your intention. S, stand for truth. And K, keep kindness a priority. So what do I mean by release attachment to the outcome? We all want a certain benefit. You may be hearing me talk about the carnivore diet, and now you want the mood, you want the energy, you want weight loss, whatever it is. Yes, that's there, but as best as you can, you want to let go of that outcome. It will come, but we don't know what order our body's going to work in. Like I said, I didn't lose weight at first. It took me 7 months to lose any weight. So if my eye was on that outcome, I would have felt like a failure. So release attachment and really stay focused on what you are experiencing, the benefits you are experiencing, as small as they may be, and rewarding yourself, patting yourself on the back. That's what I mean by rewarding, not sweets, but patting yourself on the back for, hey, I ate a mostly meat breakfast. I ate a carnivore lunch today, and giving yourself some credit. I is invest in your intention. And by intention, a lot of people think intentions are goals. Like, oh, I'm going to be carnivore for 90 days. And that is my intention. But by intention, I mean focusing on the type of person you want to be. I want to practice being more healthy. I want to practice being more vibrant. I want to practice embodying more vitality. The words being and embodying are really crucial when you're talking about intentions. So who do you want to be? Who do you want to embody? Not only when you're hitting those goals, but right now as you move into this new way of life. S is stand for truth. And goodness knows we have had a lot of misinformation throughout the years. So what is truth? What is truth right now? And right now for you, when you're in that beginning stage, when you don't know the truth, you haven't experienced enough to really know what's true for you. We always say binge Barry to build beliefs, and Dr. Barry is just an example. But what I mean is really fill yourself with other carnivore channels, including our own, but especially the good doctors who can really help you build the belief in this new way of eating so that you don't have so much self-doubt. And K, keep kindness a priority. Be kind to yourself. Don't force things. Don't make things happen when you're not. Don't force exercise, for instance, if you have no energy. Don't force yourself to give up dairy if you're not there yet. And as I mentioned earlier, keep celebrating the wins and not the wins that are just results. Like I can celebrate the win that my allergies have resolved or my skin has cleared up. But I also want you to celebrate those wins of, you know what? I went a whole week of eating mostly meat. I ate a steak today and I wasn't sure I could 2 days ago. So keep those wins at the forefront of your mind. And this will help you build the momentum so that you can move into this new way of eating and move into this whole new way of life. So if you're sitting on the fence about the carnivore diet or taking that next step into carnivore, don't wait. You're only putting those results that you do want. Again, we're going to let go of them. But you're putting your changing of your life, your transformation on hold. So you don't need to buy a bunch of things. There aren't a bunch of rules. Just start eating meat and start doing it today. Start making those steps into your new lifestyle. Because I know that you can do this. And you're going to be amazed when you look back 6 months from now and say, wow, that was the day I started carnivore. That was the day I started eating mostly meat. And here is how my life has changed in that time. So I know you can do it. Put your commitment, whatever it is, whatever step you're taking toward carnivore, we would love to hear about it and support you. So go ahead and put it in the comments and know that we are cheering you on every step of the way and cannot wait to celebrate your wins with you.